What's going on, guys? It's Dime, and today we're going to be customizing this flat Prybar. It's a 15-inch flat Prybar. I got it at Tractor Supply. I just don't like the look of paint on metal. I'd rather the metal be able to patina. So let's start with that, and then we'll be wrapping it and giving it a leather handle. Something nice, take a little bit of the shock out of it when you're beating on it with a hammer. Yeah, let's get to it. Alright, to start, I'm going to wrap some 100 grit sandpaper around a sanding block, and we'll get to removing this paint. I'm going to be doing all this stuff by hand, so yeah. Alright, calling that good enough on this. Happy with that. Got it down to the bare metal so I can start getting that good patina on it from sitting in the tool bag and getting used. Now what I'm going to be doing is putting a leather handle, leather wrap on it. Probably about this long. It'll be seamed up the middle on one side. And yeah, let's get to that. Alright, so I got this piece of leather here. It's down to decent size where I can work with it around here. What I'm going to start with is getting the wraparound width done, and then I'll worry about trimming the length off to where I want it. Yeah, for this I'm going to measure across here, which would be, I'm going to call it 1.25 inches. I'm doing a little under so that the leather has room to stretch and grip onto this middle section. So I'm going to take that 1.25 inches, I'm going to double it. I'm going to mark 2.5 inches like you can see here across this piece of leather, top and bottom. I'm going to cut that out and then we'll be back. Alright, got that cut out. Next I'm going to worry about the length, get it trimmed down. I'm going to say I want it, you know, a decent amount below these where it's just going to be about that wide. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going to mark that. I want it about right there. No, I got that mark. Trim it there. Got it trimmed down to size. Next, what I'm going to do is go ahead and round these corners off for when the stitching is going to come. Alright, got those corners rounded out good enough. Trim that. Alright, call that good on that. Now what's next is going to be punching out holes for the stitching. Alright, got all the holes punched in the leather. I think what I'm going to be doing is running, because I'm going to be running the rough side out on this leather, more abrasion resistant and such. I think I'm going to be running a bead of epoxy down the middle of this to stick it to it so it doesn't slide even when it's pulled on real hard. I'm going to be stretching it, which I think will do most of the holding, when I sew it up, but I want to be extra sure it doesn't slide around. I'm going to epoxy it. And this is just E6000. Almost out. Gonna have to get some more soon. Alright, call that good. Let's get going on this. I want the stitching to be on this side. Pretty happy with that. Kind of hold the leather in place as I'm sewing it. Now we'll get to sewing. I'll get back to y'all when I'm a little farther done with this stitching. Now it's nice and smooth. Won't be any real high spots for it to cause more of a blister, a hot spot on your hand. It's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is beeswax this whole thing and melt that in. And yeah, then we'll be pretty much done with this thing. Alright, got my beeswax here. Now I'm just going to go around and rub it in. And then we'll go back over it with a torch and melt it all in. Alright, got it pretty well coated in beeswax. Now we're going to go back in with a low flame and melt it all in. You know, this is just taking pride in your tools and wanting them to be yours, not nobody else's. You know, somebody can't grab this and say it's theirs because I did all the work to this. I know it's mine. Ain't no confusing it with nobody else's. Alright, y'all. That's the finished build. Got it all waxed and oiled. Everything's good. It's done. That's a custom Prybar. Turning something basic into something custom. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. This has been Dime, guys. Yeah.